Hello everyone, this course is for Bachelor of Science first year in the subject of Botany, semester 2, wherein the course code is BOC 102 and course title Biodiversity 2. Myself Chetali Verekar, Assistant Professor in PSS RSN College of Arts and Science. Title of the unit is Gymnosperms and module name is Anatomy of Neem. This is the outline wherein we are going to study about the anatomy of fruit, anatomy of stem and anatomy of leaf. These are the learning outcomes wherein the learner is again going to study about anatomy of fruit, stem and leaf. So starting with the anatomy, first we will start with the root, which will have a tiers of young root and a tiers of old root. Then stem, which will have tiers of young stem and tiers of old stem. And lastly the anatomy of entire leaf. So starting with the root, tiers of young root. So this is how the tiers of young root looks when the section is taken, that is a transverse section is taken. So from the peripheral side or from the outermost side, the tiers of young root consist of cuticle, which is a protective layer and protects the epidermis and inner tissues. Cuticle is followed by epidermis, which is made up of single layered cells. Then epidermis is followed by cortical cells, which are made up of several layers of parenchymatous cells that are polygonal in outline and contain starch. Cortical cells or the cortex is then followed by stellar region, as we can see here, which is circular in nature. This stellar region consists of endodermis, which is a distinguishable and can be seen. Endodermis is followed by 1 to 2 layers of pericycle. So the endodermis and pericycle helps in protection of the inner tissues, that is the xylem and phloem. So towards the inner side we can see xylem and phloem distributed. So on the outer sides, the cells that we see here is the phloem, and at the middle we can see the xylem part. So the bigger xylem which we can see at the center is a metaxylem, and at the periphery the smaller xylems that we see is the protoxylem. So such type of condition wherein the metaxylem is present at the center and protoxylem towards the periphery, that particular condition is called as exarch, and wherein there are 2 points of xylem. So as we can see in this picture as well, there are 2 points of xylem, one here and one at the down. So such type of condition is also called as diarch. Same thing which is given here, Casparian strips are seen in the cells of endodermis. So here we cannot see the Casparian cells as they have already formed into the endodermis. So these Casparian strips helps in the formation of endodermis. Next, the endodermis followed by 4 to 6 layer of pericycle, which we had seen just now. Then the roots have diarch and exarch xylem, wherein diarch means there are 2 points of xylem which can be seen, and exarch xylem means metaxylem at the center and protoxylem towards the periphery. Lastly, small amount of primary xylem visible in young root becomes indistinguishable after secondary growth. So whatever xylem that we can see here, that is a protoxylem and metaxylem, will not be present when the secondary growth takes place in the root of Neem. Now coming to the tiers of old root of Neem. So here the secondary growth is of normal type, which means the outermost layer is the periderm, which is a thick layer which is formed for the protection of the inner tissues. So periderm is followed by cortical cells or the cortex tissues. Then cortex tissues or the cortex layer is then followed by endodermis, which is made up of 4 to 5 layer, followed by pericycle, which is again thick and made up of 4 to 5 layers. The endodermis and pericycle is formed by the xylem and the phloem tissues. That is, here as we can see the compactly arranged xylem parenchyma. In between we can see xylem vessels, and then vertically we can see the medullary rays. So all these xylem elements, that is xylem parenchyma, xylem vessel and medullary rays, all these three help in the transportation of water and nutrients. So vessels have simple or small multiserrate border pits which are a dot like found in the vessels. So some of these xylem elements have starch grain, and phloem also consists of sieve cells and phloem parenchyma. So the function of sieve cells and phloem parenchyma is the conduction of food, and they also help in conduction of mineral nutrients. Next is tears of young stem. So as we can see here the picture, the young stem in transverse section is roughly circular in outline. It is also surrounded by cuticle, which is the outermost layer of the section and also help in protection of the inner tissues. So cuticle is followed by epidermis, which is a single layered cell. Then followed by epidermis is the 3-layer cortex, which is made up of outermost region, chlorenchymatous cell, middle cortex made up of parenchymatous cell, and inner cortex made up of sclerenchymatous cells. So there are 3 distinct regions of cortex is found: outermost chlorenchymatous, middle parenchymatous, and the inner one is sclerenchymatous. So towards this stellar region, what we can see is rounded structures which are called as vascular bundles. So these vascular bundles are present in a ring formation next to each other, and each of the vascular bundle is collateral, conjoint and open type. Collateral conjoint means the xylem and phloem are present adjacent to one another. So this vascular bundle, as we can see here, they consist of phloem on the upper side and xylem on the inner side. So xylem also can be seen. Here we can see the xylem vessels into the xylem, and then there is the pith towards the outer side. So same thing which is given here. Cortex consists of outer chlorenchymatous region, parenchymatous region and sclerenchymatous region towards the inner side. Endodermis and pericycle region are not distinguishable, as we can see in this diagram as well. There is no distinguished endodermis and pericycle. After the cortex, directly we can see the vascular bundles. The several conjoint, collateral, open and endarched vascular bundles can be seen in a ring formation. Then xylem consists of tracheids and vessels which helps in transportation of water. Then phloem consists of sieve cells and phloem parenchyma which helps in conduction of food and mineral nutrients. Next is tears of old stem. So here old stem in tears shows secondary growth, which is in contrast with the young stem. So in Netum pneumon the secondary growth is normal, but in majority of the species the anomalous secondary growth is shown. That is in the case of Netum hula and Netum africanum. So anomalous secondary growth means a unique type of secondary growth is seen in case of these 2 plants, wherein the primary cambium is ephemeral, which means it is short-lived, and the secondary cambium is present in different parts of cortex, which is developing into successive rings one after the other. So in the case of secondary growth here, the first cambium cuts off secondary xylem towards inside and phloem towards the outer side. So this cambium ceases to function after some time, and after that another cambium is formed which again gets differentiated along the outermost secondary phloem region, and the same process is again repeated. So as we can see in this diagram, so all these are the rings which are formed by the cambium. So here at the middle region, the ones which is marked in darker color is the cambium, which actually helps in formation of xylem towards the inner side and phloem towards the outer side. So more of the xylem is formed and less of the phloem is formed. So once the entire region or the entire cycle of forming the xylem and phloem is complete, the primary cambium ceases itself. So it does not function, and another layer of xylem, phloem and cambium is formed, wherein the again cambium responds and again it starts giving the xylem towards the inner side and phloem towards the outer side. So such type of concentric or the eccentric rings are formed, wherein we can see these are the rings of cambium which are formed, giving rise to xylem and phloem. So this is the section of the wood which can be seen, and these are the eccentric ring. So in later stage, more secondary xylem is produced on one side. As we can see, only on one side there is the exaggeration of the xylem, and while as compared to the other side there is no xylem seen. Okay, so thus concentric ring of xylem and phloem are found in wood. So this type of eccentric wood or concentric wood is a characteristic feature of angiospermic lianas. The perioderm is thin and develops from the outer cortex. It also possesses lenticel which helps in exchange of air and gases. Then the cortex also contains chlorenchymatous and parenchymatous tissue along with many sclerids. Then the secondary wood consists of tracheids and vessels. So the sclerids tracheids and vessels are nothing but the xylem elements which are found in plant, which also helps in transportation of water. Then last we have tears of the leaf. So internally, Needham leaf resembles with the dicot leaf. So it is bounded by layer of thick cuticle above epidermis on both the surfaces, wherein the stomatas are distributed all over the lower surface except on the veins. Here the mesophyll tissue is present, which is differentiated into a single layered palisade and well developed spongy parenchyma. So the spongy parenchyma consists of loosely packed cell, wherein it shows several muscular bundles in the form of arch or curve present in the prominent midrib. So this is the section of the leaf wherein we can see the outermost layer being the cuticle, which helps in protection of the inner tissue, followed by single layered epidermis. Then we can see palisade layer, which is marked. The palisade layer is a part of the mesophyll tissue which will be having chlorophyll within themselves, which helps in photosynthetic process. Then next we can see vascular bundles which are arranged in a line. So these vascular bundles, as we can see, here the phloem is present on the lower side and the xylem is present on the upper side. And then we can see the spongy parenchyma, and this is the parenchymatous layer. So the leaf does not grow secondary growth, it only have primary growth. So in this lecture, we studied about the anatomy of root, young root, then anatomy of old root, then anatomy of young stem, which is a normal type, then anatomy of old stem, which shows anomalous growth and eccentric rings like this, and then anatomy of the leaf, which shows a primary growth within themselves. These are the references. Thank you.